It's about 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, August 18th, 2023. If you look closely, you can see a duck in the bushes there. Now that I've showed up and fed the ducks, they're coming out of the bushes there to get some food. Today it's forecast to be 108 degrees here in my part of the woods. And we don't have any forecast of rain for the rest of August and September. For the rest of August, it's going to be in the hundreds, and then September is going to be in the 90s, and it looks like it might drop down back to the 80s in October, right? So we are coming up on the latter half of summer. Maybe the latter third, last third, I guess. My field is covered in goatweed. The goatweed is really thick. Let me just kind of show you what that looks like. So this is kind of a good area. You can see there's a lot of grass growing in between the goatweed. But let's kind of go out where there's more goatweed. Yeah, I guess this is more typical. You can see the goatweed is wilting. I don't think it's getting all the water it needs. And so maybe in about a week or so it should start browning out. The grass, like here, there's very little grass that's green down here. It's all brown. So yeah. Just lots and lots of this stuff. So typically about this time, I'd go through with a shredder and just shred all the goatweed. Just kind of knock it off before it really starts going to seed. You can kind of see that the seeds are starting to develop. Let me get that in focus there. The seeds are starting to develop. But if we can knock it off before it goes to seed, it should make it that much more difficult for the next year for the goatweed to establish itself. My neighbor said that he sprayed for goatweed 2 years ago, which got rid of the goatweed last year, but this year the goatweed's back with a vengeance. The moral of the story is, if you want to use chemicals to get rid of goatweed, you got to keep spraying. And the other part, the footnote to that, is that the chemicals are doing more than just killing goatweed. There's not a chemical on this planet that targets exactly one thing and leaves everything else alone. This doesn't work that way. So I'm going to just let it go, see what happens. Last year was dry. The goatweed all died. I'm told it's perennial, which means it comes back, the same plant the next year. But all the goatweed died last year. I did go to seed though, so I have tons of goatweed seed in my field. See, here it's not too bad, you know. So anyway, that's my strategy. There's some legumes growing down there. Pretty sure that's a legume of some sort. So because there's no rain expected, and we haven't really had rain for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I don't think we've had a significant rain for well over a month now. Everything that's growing has somehow tapped into the water that's underground. The soil's getting tough. It's going to be hard to drive posts into the ground. I see cracking in the soil. But right now, there's a bit of dew. I can see the sparkle of dew. And as you can see, my boots are wet. So the dew is caused by the fact that colder air holds less water. And at nighttime, the air temperature drops. And as the sun rises, the plants cool down at night. And as the sun rises and the air starts to warm up, it will hold on to some more moisture. And then as that warm air touches the cold plants, the water will condense, which has two effects. Number one, it warms up the plant. Number two, it leaves some water behind. So it is a way to get moisture in your field. You can imagine if I had grass that's 4 feet tall here, my pants would be soaking wet. So right now it's about 80 degrees. Sun's in the air, but it's not really that hot. But yeah, this is probably one of the hottest days of this year today. So I'll see what it looks like in the evening. No, I won't be back in the evening. I'll see what it looks like tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. I'll try to film the same area. Let me just kind of take a look at the roots. See if I can pull it out by hand. Hold on a second. There we go. You can kind of see what the goatweed has done. It doesn't really go that deep. So ideally it stays dry and hot, and the goatweed just can't keep up with it, but the grass can. It's kind of the ideal scenario. So anyway, oh, and that minor note, one of the dogs I brought down from Wyoming is missing. I haven't seen him for a while. I've only been back for 2 days, but the people who are watching my land, they said they haven't seen that dog either. So hopefully he's okay. Maybe he has a new home. Maybe he'll come back. They do tend to find their way home. So, but I did look at the field, see if there's any signs of dead animals, and I didn't see any. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.